What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to talk about like some recent reports that have been going on that LeBron James fans, right, have been hating on this new generation of players, like Shea Gilgris Alexander, then you got Tyrese Halliburton, and they're hating on this new generation the same way that LeBron James claimed that, like the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant fans hated on him, right? And that might be true. You know what I mean? It might be true. And so I don't even really want to address that. I just want to say that I think what the bigger issue for LeBron James and LeBron James fans is like, number one, you see like LeBron James' star is fading. So that's what these new guys represent. They represent the fact that LeBron James' star is fading. Not only is his star is fading, you have these guys who are playing a totally different style of basketball, and their that style that these kids are playing is making the game is going to make the game is making the game, in my opinion, it's already more exciting. You know what I mean? Because I personally like the way both of these kids play, Halliburton and the guy Shea. Halliburton reminds me of the old school point guards like Magic Johnson. What's the other guy named Jason Kidd? Those guys who were really they were like pass first guards, and they distributed the ball, and they made they made their teammates better. So that's what I see in the guy Halliburton. Then with the guy Shea, he's a guard, but he's more so of a shoot first guard, but he can score at any time. So he's like his mid range shot is just he reminds me. He's not. I don't want to say Kobe, but in the sense that he has a mid range game. He don't shoot the three that much, which I like. You know, and so both of their styles of play, I think, is just bringing back that old style from like the 90s, 2000, the early 2000, 2010 and stuff like that. So that's what I think, like the jealousy and all that stuff is just because you're going to have excitement, more excitement in the game when you see guys, these guys play. And these two guys are not the only two. I like Cade Cunningham in Detroit. I hope that the kid Jalen Green in Houston can get it together because I like his style of play. But then you had the twins. What are their name? Amen. What's the guy name? One of them is in Detroit, and then one of them is in Houston. And I think their last name is Johnson. But the twins that are with the Rockets and the Pistons. I like their style of play. So you got this upcoming and this new talent. They don't look like Kevin Durant. They don't look like Kevin Durant or play like Kevin Durant. They don't look like LeBron or play like LeBron. They don't play like Steph Curry. This new crop of young ball players, style of ball play is like what we were seeing back in the 90s, man. These guys can score all over the court. They got mid-range games. They can go. It's not about just shooting the three and dunking the basketball. They play defense, right? And so yeah, I can see why LeBron James fans are mad because they're starting to realize that like if it was a part of that LeBron James era, you got cheated. Some facets of the game was left out of the game for all those years. Like I said, you either got a 3-pointer or you got a dunk. Nothing else, not too much else in between that. But all these other teams, man, they making you defend everything. The mid range, the 3-pointer, and the dunk, man. And so that's why you got these fans that's upset. LeBron James fans are upset with these kids, man, because they don't play anything like these guys that that are on their way out. Nobody's trying to imitate LeBron James. You know, we, I mean, they just don't. Nobody, no, none of these guys are trying to imitate Kevin Durant. None of these guys are trying to imitate Steph Curry. Like you don't see like somebody trying to imitate. I just think that era in basketball, in my opinion, was just like, I might be wrong. I think it was like a flash in the pan. I think that style of basketball it came in, and I think it's on its way out. I think because the way the league was structured and because of the rules and stuff like that, those guys was able to do that stuff and get away with it. But I think um I just don't think going forward. I don't think that style of basketball play that those guys brought to the table um is sustainable. I don't think like they'll be able to win like that. Teams in the future. Um, I just don't think so. Like you'll never see, and I like Steph Curry, right? But I don't think you'll ever see another Steph Curry because I think like you're going to get back to more physical style of play, which the fans like. And I think the game is more competitive that way. It's better for the NBA. So you're going to see a more physical style of play. So when you press up on somebody and you defend them all over the court, they won't be able to hit those shots the way Steph did. You know, um, and that's how it was before Steph came to the league. Like if you were somebody who could shoot like that, people just beat you up. They just played you more physical, and so nobody allowed you to shoot like that. And I don't think in the future they're going to allow you to shoot like that. And the same thing with like Kevin Durant. Like I have seen like once you play, you get really, really physical with Kevin Durant, then he is nowhere near as effective, as he is like when he just had free reign just to run around the court. Um, yeah, those kind of ball players, Kevin Durant can't really post up, or he didn't really post up a lot because he's kind of frail and stuff like that. So, what I see in the future of basketball, as far as like these kids, um, just making offensive players, you got to have a bag, man. You got to be able to do more than one thing exceptionally, or these guys are going to take that. What you do exceptionally, they're going to take that away from you and make you do other things. And so, with this new crop of young ball players that's coming into the league, that's what I see. And so, I think, in my opinion, that these LeBron James fans, really they notice that LeBron James see that, and this right here, these kids right here just represent a changing of the guard. Not only a changing of the guard, but just a new mindset. They're not even going to. If you think about, I don't even think like they're not even going to make the same kind of career decisions that LeBron James and Kevin Durant made throughout their career. Like I think that Tyrese Halliburton, and I think that this kid Shea, I think like who else is a franchise type ball player? Kincaid, Kate Cunningham. I'm sorry. I think most of these franchise ball players, I think that they won't move around and cherry pick from team to team like um like LeBron and Kevin Durant did. I don't think, because they see like how they're looking now. They understand that some people don't respect that, and so they just gonna stay with their teams, and they just gonna thug it out. And which I think that's better for the game. It's better for fans. The fans will get to see whether you can persevere or not, and overcome the different obstacles throughout your career. And that right there is what endears a fan base to a player. Like, because when you think about Detroit, Isaiah Thomas played his whole career in Detroit, and he is beloved in Detroit. Detroit fans they love Isaiah Thomas. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. Like he spent his entire career at in LA. And like he will always be beloved in LA. Magic Johnson the same way, Larry Bird the same way, Michael Jordan the same way. And so these kids that are in the league now that are franchise ball player, I bet you'll have a lot more of these guys just sticking to one team and just trying to persevere. Reggie Miller, you know, like, you know, just about all those guys, man. Like when I saw Patrick Ewing go to, what was it, Seattle, that was, that was at the end of his career. He didn't even look right in that uniform when he went to the Seattle Supersonics. Or when Dominique Wilkinson left, when Dominique Wilkins left Atlanta, when he left the Hawks. I'm trying to think, where did he go at? I don't know, but wherever he went at, man, he didn't look, he didn't just didn't. Oh, he went to Boston. Just didn't look right. It just didn't look right, man. So that's my take on it. That's why I think that LeBron James and his fan base, man, are really, really, they're going to be jealous of these new guys because these new guys just represent a changing of the guard, a different mindset, a different playing style. And yeah, man, and that's what it is. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. With that being said, also don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.